We now go on to motion 3.5 in the name of Assembly Member Prince. If you could propose the motion, please.
Thank you, Chair. This motion effectively calls for the Mayor to adopt the Bus Drivers' Bill of Rights. We have seen in the current climate, literally, that bus drivers are suffering terribly. They're being forced to drive vehicles that are not fit for use. We've seen drivers having to drive with their shirts off, which is okay, I guess, if you're a bloke, but not really if you're, a female. We have bus drivers who don't have anywhere to go to the loo. Again, that's really very bad for the female drivers. And I really do think that something needs to be done, because yes, it's important that we're able to get to work and that the buses run on time, but also it's equally important that we're not driving these bus drivers to such levels of fatigue that they are making human errors which are avoidable if they were in a much fresher condition. I'd also like to recognise that some of the bus drivers in the audience with us today, so thank you for all that you do for us and keeping the arteries of London open. But fundamentally, they deserve a better deal. We must recognise the importance of having drivers who are not fatigued. I'd also like to thank, or put on the record, my thanks to a few people who have been really pushing on this issue. I'd like to thank Tom Carney, Kevin Mustafa, Lorraine Robertson, Hugo Mora and Joe Reid. These guys have really been pushing hard. So I plead with the Assembly, please let's give our bus drivers, those vital public servants, a better deal. Thank you.
Assembly Member Wilson to second, please.
Thank you. Second, and reserve my right to speak. Thank you.
Assembly Member Russell.
Thank you, and thank you, Assembly Member Prince, for bringing this motion. In Paris last week, a bus driver was overcome by heat and crashed into a tree. That single moment says a lot about what happens when conditions inside a vehicle become unbearable. Across public transport, drivers recently have been working in absolutely sweltering heat, where concentration becomes harder, vision can be affected, and reaction times can slow. When sweat is running into your eyes and the cab feels like it's closing in, staying fully alert on the road becomes a real challenge, and that makes it dangerous for everyone. In extreme weather, bus drivers are expected to carry their responsibility in conditions that are pushing them to the absolute limits. Now, there's currently no statutory maximum workplace temperature in the UK, and bus drivers, like all workers, deserve proper rest breaks, access to toilet facilities, safe working temperatures, and dignified working conditions. Now, this motion builds on substantial work that has already taken place. The cross-party London Assembly Transport Committee report, Driven to Distraction, from back in 2017 or 18, which was all about making London's buses safer, highlighted the need to improve driver welfare and safety. In particular, it picked up on the idea of reducing things that distract drivers while they're driving. So in February 25, I submitted the Bus Drivers' Bill of Rights petition, which was informed by the campaigning work of London bus drivers and the people that were listed by Assembly Member Prince just earlier. Their demands were really straightforward and reasonable and include, amongst other things, protection for workers raising safety concerns and working air cooling in summer and heating in winter. Not much to ask for. They're not extravagant demands. They are basic rights for the dignity and well-being of the people who keep London's public transport moving safely every day. So the Greens will be supporting this motion.
Thank you. Assembly Member Bakari, please.
Thank you. In this chamber in October 2024, the Mayor agreed with me that the bus drivers should not be working in unsafe conditions, such as when temperatures in cabs reach 35 degrees. And in the following month, I called on the Mayor to commit to standardising breaks, psychological support and training for bus drivers to ensure that they are supported and can remain calm and collected behind the wheel. We agree with many parts of the motion and have a proven track record of standing up for London's bus drivers and their welfare. But however, there is a slight disagreement on the fact that, despite the fact that there's a good spirit behind the Bus Driver Bill of Rights, the Reform Party has not supported the national move for the Employment Rights Act. And so we were concerned about that. And while the Employment Rights Act is not perfect, the Liberal Democrats have raised concerns over its potential impact on small businesses. The modernisation of workers' rights is an important step for us to take as a country. So we have some reservations of the fact that we need to be making sure that this is a national movement, not just one from here in City Hall.
Thank you. Assembly Member Baker, please.
Thanks, Chair. The Labour Group supports the principles contained in this motion. Safe working hours, protection from fatigue, working conditions that are not far too hot or too cold, decent toilet and rest facilities, all of this should be a given. No one can disagree with these principles. So on that basis, we are absolutely supporting. We would like to say that many of these points are covered in existing legislation. The Health, Safety and Work Act, the Working Time Regulations, all provide the sort of rights that are enshrined in the Bill of Rights. There is also legal protection for whistleblowers that's mentioned elsewhere in the motion. But it is right that where we fall short in the bus industry in London is implementation and enforcement. And the model of contracted out bus provision does make this more difficult. So it is absolutely right that we are asking the Mayor and TfL to be more proactive at holding bus operators to account to make sure that working conditions of bus drivers are the best they can be. So on that basis, we thank Reform for bringing this motion and we support it.
Assembly Member Garrett, please.
Thank you, Chair. There are 12 points in the Bus Driver Bill of Rights, and all 12 of them are important. But there are two elements I want to particularly focus on in the 2 minutes I have. These are the importance of safe work schedules and rest breaks, and the importance of air conditioning. So let me just start with air conditioning. It is literally years that I have been raising that with both the Mayor and the TfL Commissioner. So I'm delighted at his conversion last week to the idea that air conditioning that is fitted and working in a bus driver cab is an important thing, and I look forward to him complying with all of the suggestions I have made over the years to do spot checks and enforcement on the bus companies and not merely nod along or avoid the question. Which is what he has done so far. On breaks and schedules, it's 5 years since I asked TfL's head of safety why they don't take the industry best practice on rostering and fatigue management, which TfL applies perfectly well on the railways, on the tube, and now, since Sandylands, also on the tram, even though, to address Assemblymember Baker's point, many of these are outsourced third-party companies that run these services. They are absolutely required to roster their drivers in the best practice to avoid fatigue. Somehow, when it's a big red bus, this becomes impossible. I do not believe it's impossible. I believe it is necessary. Taking the list as a whole, I think the Mayor has tried to suggest that sometimes in the past that it's not needed because all of these things are already required and happening. In which case, I would say, why not sign up to it? Why not sign up to it? And I think the fact that the Mayor seems so reluctant to do so tells you why not. It's actually not happening. It's not happening. The Mayor will often sit here and tell us it's fine, and then I will go and speak to bus drivers who will very much tell us it's not fine. I hope that this motion today goes some way to turn a good idea into something that actually benefits London's bus drivers. Thank you, Chair.
Assembly Member Wilson to sum up.
Okay, just very briefly, because just really to say thank you very much for support from all sides of the chamber, all parties. I don't need to repeat the points that have been made because they're all extremely sensible ones and ones that I think it's a great way of bringing that all together and supporting that. The drivers that keep these buses running keep our city running, and as such, they absolutely deserve the support, help and so on that we can give, and hopefully through this pressure the Mayor to deliver that as well. So thank you everybody, and thank you for the campaigners for keeping this such a high profile issue and enabling us to raise it in the Assembly today.
Assembly Member Prince, to sum up, please.
Thank you. Well, this is extremely heartening, and I think the bus drivers here and bus drivers across the capital will be very pleased. Assembly Member Bakari, I hope that your national concerns won't interfere with making the right decision for Londoners, because this is about London. You know, there are other battles that you may choose to have on a wider perspective, but this is about not just the safety of London bus drivers, but Londoners across the whole piece, because if the bus drivers are fatigued, accidents will happen and everybody is at risk. Really welcome the support from AM Baker. Thank you very much indeed. I would actually plead with you, though, once this goes through, which it looks like it might, that you personally speak with the Mayor and give him a little nudge, give him a bit of encouragement to adopt that which we all believe in. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I see all those in favour of the motion proposed by Assembly Member Prince?
That is unanimous.
I think so.
Chair, thank you.